All right, y'all. Welcome back to our Planetary Magic series. This is Dominec369, and this is Occultism Unleashed. Today is Tuesday, the day of Mars. Obviously, the color of Mars is red. Mars rules the planet Aries. The metal for Mars is iron. All metals, weapons, tools, shovels, all these things are ruled by Mars. They're all under the rulership of Mars. The combustion in the engine, because Mars has rulership over the element of fires also. So the combustion and engine are ruled by Mars. The old-fashioned, newer engines have a dual rulership of Mars and Uranus. But when we're talking about planetary magic, we're talking about the 7 original celestial bodies: the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So, Mars, it rules Aries for planetary magic, and it rules Scorpio. Aries and Scorpio for planetary magic. Not astrology, planetary magic. If you're doing ancient astrology, yeah. Modern astrology, Pluto rules Scorpio. But we're talking about planetary magic. So Mars rules Aries and Mars rules Scorpio. Bam. So back to this Mars energy. So now when you look at what part of the body ruled by Mars, Mars rules the head. Mars rules the head. People with Mars in their first house, like myself, tend to have a big head, tend to have a big head. You have broad features, your nose is prominent, your lips are prominent. Things that make your face and head stand out are gonna be prominent if you have Mars in the first house of your chart. Also, the energy that you give off, tends to be aggressive if your Mars is in Scorpio, Aries, or Capricorn, in your first house. The incense for Mars is tobacco. And I always tell my clients and people on my Instagram page, if you smoke weed, man, don't mix your weed with tobacco. Cannabis is of the element water and makes you receptive to spiritual information. And tobacco is sacred to Mars. It draws malicious spirits, warlike spirits, and spirits of the dead. So you don't want to mix those and be, consuming herbs that invoke those two things to you at the same time, man. Because the more you smoke, the more you're gonna want to loosen up. The more you're gonna have that vibe. Then you're gonna want to drink because you summoning the spirits of the dead with the tobacco, and that's when the BS tends to jump off. So the tobacco for Mars, tobacco is the herb for Mars. Also, dragon's blood is an incense for Mars, and dragon's blood is real good for clearing your space, man. Dragon's blood is real good for that. I want to bounce to Tuesday because, Tuesday, I tell you guys all the time, it's magic everywhere if you look. They inserted Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those are named after Norse gods. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are named after Latin gods or Roman deities that are based on Greek deities, that are based on Egyptian deities. So when it comes to the war and destructive energy of Mars, they use the titles of the European gods. The Nordic gods, the barbaric Viking gods, Twi, for Tuesday, because he's more destructive and more merciless and reckless energy than the Roman Mars, which if you say Tuesday for Italians, French, Portuguese, it's along the lines, in Spanish it's along the lines of Martes, because those are all Latin rooted instead of Germanic rooted like Twi, So if you pay attention even to the days of the week, you'll see how they're connected to deities and energies of different deities, even though they've taking that face off of the picture. You know, they changed the branding, but it's still all the same. Mars, the Aries is Mars, so the animal sacred to Mars is the ram. Also, all stinging insects are sacred to Mars. Like I told you guys, a honeybee is sacred to the sun. The wasp, hornets, stinging ants, those are insects that are sacred to Mars. You know, Mars is the traditional ruler of the 8th house. So when you're in your chart and looking, you know, surgery, car accidents, things like that, you know, those are governed by Mars. You know, war, surgery, also innovation, because Mars in our chart tells how we assert ourselves. So if you have Mars in Pisces, you may be kind of docile, but you assert yourself in a more, you know, self-sacrificing way, because Pisces is a sign of martyrdom and self-sacrifice. Or you may assert yourself through substance abuse or through acting in film, you know, or you may need to be in a certain type of environment that forces you to assert yourself, because Pisces is the sign that's naturally on the 12th house, and that rules, you know, prisons or asylums or you know, a nursing home or something like that. So you would need to be in a controlled environment in order to feel like you can assert yourself. Businesses for Mars. Anything dealing with security, athleticism, innovation, leadership. You know, those are good things for people who got strong Mars placements in the 6th or 10th house. When you talk about Egyptian spirits connected to Mars, you got Heru Khuti. That's Horus of the 2 horizons, and that's a very powerful warrior spirit of Horus. And that's good for protection and defensive magic to invoke Heru Khuti. Foods associated with Mars, because it rules fire. You know, you're dealing with hot and spicy peppers, you know, and red fruits and vegetables fall under the sub rulership of Mars, because Mars rules the color red. So if you really start looking at things and how you plan your life and your diet and everything, you can really learn a lot from the planets. You know, you could build you a planetary diet based on the days of the week, you know, if that's something that you wanted to do. You know, the only limitations are your imagination once you have, you know, an understanding of how the knowledge can be used. You know, knowledge without understanding is the formula for chaos. So when you want to get assertive, when you want to get out your own way, you want to look at your Mars placement in your chart, see what house it's in, you know, because the things that the house governs. So if your Mars is in your 11th house, because the 11th house, they say it rules hopes and wishes, but it rules your social environment, you know, superficial friends that you will hang out with and not take life advice from. So you having problems asserting yourself and you feeling introverted and you got Mars in your 11th house, it's important that you get out into the social setting, social environments, and assert yourself. If the sign on there is, I'll say, you know, Libra on your 11th house, and you got Mars and Libra in your 11th house, it'd be good for you to, you know, step your fashion game up, get out there and socialize, live a little more luxurious, and get familiar with the finer things. Because when you get familiar with the finer things, you feel more confident and comfortable in asserting yourself. So Mars is the energy and the planet that helps us assert ourselves. You know, it also tells us how we get triggered and defensive. you know. So the same person who's docile with the Mars and Libra can be a very cruel and malicious person, because Libra has a scales. And if the person isn't, you know, mentally fit, because Libra is an air sign and the opposite of Aries, you know, that balance can go one way or another. It can be a I love you all the way, or I hate you all the way. And that can be a very dangerous situation. You know, Mars and Libra is in its fall. You know, but as we go through the different videos and stuff, you're going to learn a lot more. If you didn't catch the Planetary Magic videos yesterday, check them out on the Planetary Magic playlist. If this interests you. Have a good day. I'll holler at y'all.